Okay, dudes, let's get started with HTML. 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 Mm. Let's get rid of these. Let's load a session. And I associate. Okay, hold up. I just want to check if notepad plus plus. I want to rename it to issue underscore session. Okay, it will just open this up. Okay. Plus plus doc user manual. Can UDL browser headphones. Session workspace is checked. Yes. You can load dash open session command line argument. Okay. Nice dude. Plus dash open session. Open session, and then I have this. Great. That's what I needed. Right. So I was in the book. Okay, I have to do the exercise 5.2. Yeah. Okay. So let's get started with identifying the inline elements. This little post for the Black Goose Bistro blog will give you an opportunity to identify and mark up a variety of inline elements. See if you can find phrases to mark up accurately with the following elements. Okay, so we will get this set up for exercise 5.2. Then let's create a new file and say exercise 30cm and exercise cm now. Then let's open this thing up. Okay, it has provided me with the body, so we will paste it in the body, but for now doc type HTML, HTML. Then we have the head. In there we will have the meta information. Then I'll have the title, just exercise 5.2 title. Then we'll go to the body, wherein I will paste this. Okay. Big mess, but okay. So I got a header within the article, then paragraph of the article goes the paragraph here. Graph here. Okay, header posted by. Maybe I can add a date time. Right, I can add date and time here, a time element, time, date, time equals, remember, year, month, day. So year, was it a dash? Okay, dash, month and day, and we don't care about the time, right? Pub date, and then I'll close the time element here. So that's posted by P. Okay, let me see how it looks. Right, low and slow. Right, this is the address. I should use the address. Okay, low and slow. This week I'm extremely excited about a new cooking technique called sous vide. Sous vide. Okay, definition. This is a definition term. Emphasize, italics, quotes. You submerge the food, usually vacuum sealed in plastic, into a water bath that is precisely set to target temperature. You want the food to be cooked too. In his book, Cooking's, okay, we want to cite this. I want to, but before I look, how did we cite? Cite the complete. Okay, right here. I just want to make it bold. Sous vide. So okay, then we want to cite this. Cite to be cooked to temperature. Next month we will be serving sous vide dill. To reserve a seat at chef table, contact us before November 30. And warnings, quick service is not pressurized. Okay, I want to see. I'm at page number 109. I want appendix A. Five one, exercise 5-2. Okay, I added the time. Then emphasize extremely. Okay. Then I put sous vide in italics and sous vide in italics. Okay, italics for different language. Alright. Okay, we want to emphasize extremely. Then this, don't need to bold it, I need to italicize it whenever. Okay, sous vide. Get you submerged, right? Site, okay. It has ultra low temperature potting. Okay, he describes it. Therefore, it is his coat. So if we are coating someone, then we put quotes. Right. Then we always put quote. Let me see how is it looking so far. Right, extremely sous vide. Emphasize. Didn't I emphasize it? It's strong. Okay, strong and right. And we put sous vide. Bold it. break. Small. Okay, warnings and side notes are added later. Okay, so warning and side notes are addendums, are added side notes will be done here. Then we should break here and put it in bold. Okay. Alright. Okay. Or if you're pregnant or have. Okay, then we move on to generic elements, div and span, generic block element, and span generic inline element. Okay. What if none of the elements we've talked about so far accurately describes your content? After all, there are endless types of information in the world, but as you've seen, not all that many semantic elements. Fortunately, not all you've seen, but not all that many semantic elements. Fortunately, HTML provides two generic elements that can be customized to describe your content perfectly. The div element indicates a division of content, and span indicates a word or phrase for which no text level element currently exists. The generic elements are given meaning and context with the ID and class attributes. Okay, meaning and context. The div and span elements have no inherent presentation qualities of their own, but you can use style sheets to format them however you like. In fact, generic elements are a primary tool in standards based web design because they enable hookers to accurately describe content and offer plenty of hooks for adding style rules. They allow elements on the page to be accessed and manipulated by JavaScript. We're going to spend a little time on div as well as ID and class attributes and learn how authors use them to structure a content. Okay, divide it up with a div. Okay, class provides with ID and class. Okay, markup tip. It is possible to nest div elements within other div elements, but don't go overboard. You should always strive to keep your markup as simple as possible, so add a div element only if it is necessary for logical structure, styling or scripting. Nice. Divide it up with div. The div element is used to create a logical grouping of content or elements on the page. It indicates that they belong together in some sort of conceptual unit or should be treated as a unit by CSS or JavaScript. By marking related content as a div and giving it a unique ID identifier, by giving it a unique ID identifier or indicating that it is a part of a class, they are part of a class. You give context to the elements in the grouping. In this example, a div element is used as a container to group an image and two paragraphs into a product listing. Okay. So div के अंदर ये एक unit हो गया. This is a single unit. Two paragraphs and an image. By putting those elements in a div, I've made it clear that they are conceptually related. It will also allow me to style two P elements, paragraph element with listings differently than other paragraphs on the page. Okay. Okay, these paragraphs will be styled differently because they are part of this class. Okay, here is another common use of div used to break a page into sections for layout purposes. In this example, a heading and several paragraphs are enclosed in a div and identified as the news division. Okay, this is their ID. Okay, this is specific for ID. Now that so div ID, then whatever its content or class using either ID or class. Now that I have an element known as news, I could use a style sheet to position it as a column to the right or left of the page. You might think, hey Chen, couldn't you use section element for that? You could. In fact, authors may turn to generic divs less that we have better semantics grouping in. Yep. Okay. Then we have get inline with a span. Span class gel. A span offers the same benefits as the div, except it is used for phrase elements and does not introduce line breaks. Because spans are inline elements, they can only contain text and other inline elements. In other words, you cannot put headings. Okay. In other words, you cannot put headings, list, content grouping element, and so on in span. Okay, span are an element. There is no telephone element, but we can use span to give meaning to telephone numbers. Okay, the telephone class, telephone. In this example, each telephone number is marked up as a span and classified as tel. You can see how the classified spans add meaning to what otherwise might be a random strings of digit. As a bonus, the span element enables us to apply the same style to phone numbers throughout the site. As a bonus, the span element enables us to apply the same style to phone numbers throughout the site. Phone numbers, for example, ensuring line breaks never happen within them using a okay. It makes the information recognizable not only to humans but to computer programs that know that tel is telephone number information. In fact, some values, including tel, have been standardized in a markup system known as microformats that make web content more useful to software. Okay, ID and class. Class values. In the previous examples, we saw the ID. Okay, let me make a new file, divs and spans. Not to open in terminal. Divs and just go index.ac. Okay. Doc type HTML. We go HTML. Then I have meta guess that equals to UTF-8 title generic elements okay, div is a sectioning element, generic sectioning element, and spans are generic inline elements. Generic elements title. Let's get on to body. Okay. Generic elements, div and span. Also div and span. Div is a generic sectioning element. I'll put that in bold. Sectioning element. While should I emphasize it? No, I just want to put it in italics with quotes. While span is a generic inline element. There we go. Div. Okay, I forgot to close. Right. Okay, div is a generic sectioning element, while span is a generic inline element. Right. Okay. In the previous examples, we saw the ID and class attributes used to provide context. In the previous examples, we saw the ID and class attributes used to provide context to generic div and span elements. ID and class have different purposes, however, it's important to know the difference. Okay, ID and class values. The values for ID and class attributes should start with a letter or underscore. Trouble with underscore, so they should not contain any characters, character spaces, or special characters. Okay, letters, numbers, hyphens, underscores, colons, periods are okay. Also, the value are case sensitive, so section B is not interchangeable with section B. Okay, alright. Identification when ID. The ID attribute is used to assign a unique identifier to an element in the document. Right. In other words, the value of ID must be used only once in the document. This makes it useful for assigning a name to a particular element as though it were a piece of data. Yeah. See the sidebar for providing the example. Okay. Div ID. The two example uses books ISBN numbers to uniquely identify each listing. No two book listings may share the same ID. Okay. Div yeah. Image source Felici cover. I think. Right. Web authors use ID when identifying the various sections of a page in the following. Okay, section ID equals means, section ID equals means, section. Okay. Oh, ID and class are not just for divs. That is okay. The ID and class attributes may be used with all elements in HTML5, not just div and span. For example, you could identify an ordered list as directions instead of wrapping it in div. Okay. Note, ID and class may be used with all elements except base font, head, HTML, meta. Okay, nice. That's cool. Aside section. Microformats and metadata. As you've seen, the elements in HTML fall short in describing every type of information. A group of developers decided that if class names could be standardized, for example, always using tel for telephone numbers, they could establish systems for describing data to make it more useful. This system is called microformats. Okay. Microformats extend the semantics of HTML markup by establishing standard values for ID, class, and rel. I don't know rel, maybe relation attributes rather than creating whole new elements. There are several microformat vocabularies used to identify. There are several microformat vocabularies used to identify things such as contact information, H card, or calendar items, H calendar. The microformats.org site is a good place to learn about them. Let's check format.com. Microformat.com. I don't need to. Format.org. Okay. Microformat.org. What happened here? What is this thing? NFL detailed defensive technique. Microformat. Okay. Microformats.org. Microformats. Parser. Server side and browser. Okay. Is a good place to learn about them. To give you the general idea, the following example describes a part of an event using H-calendar microformat vocabulary. Section class v event summary. Machine class dt start date time. Okay, class and end. I don't see H calendar anywhere. Okay, the H card vocabulary identifies components of typical dev. I put it in dev span. The H card vocabulary identifies components of typical contact stored in card, including address, postal code, region. To name a few, the browser can then use. I don't really get that information. There's a lot more to say. And not only that, but there are two additional more complex systems for adding metadata to our web pages in development at W3C. It's not clear how they are going to shake out in the long run, and I'm thinking that this metadata stuff is more than you want to take on right now anyway. Okay. Classification with class. The class attribute classifies elements into a conceptual group. Therefore, unlike the ID attribute, multiple elements may share a class name. By making elements part of the same class, you can apply styles to all of the labeled elements at once with a single style rule, right? And manipulate them with a script. Let's start by classifying some elements in the earlier book. In this example, I've added class attributes to classify each div as a listing and to classified paragraphs as descriptions. Okay, class listing. Okay, so the paragraph is a description, and this belongs to class listing. Just to classify. Notice how the same element may have both a class and a ID. Yes. Okay. It is also possible for elements to belong to multiple classes. When there is a list of class values, simply separate them with the character spaces. Okay, class. Okay, it belongs to two classes. When there is a list of class values, simply separate them with character spaces. Okay, in this example, yeah. Okay, so we have added this element, this element into two. It belongs to two classes, listing and book. Okay. This should have given you a good introduction to how div and span elements with class and ID are used to add meaning and organization of documents. We'll work with them even more in the style sheets in part 3. Some special characters. Part 3. Some special characters. There's just one more text related topic before we close this chapter out. Some common characters, such as the copyright symbol, are not part of the standard set of ASCII characters, which contains only letters, numbers, and a few basic symbols. Other characters, such as less than, are available. But if you put one in an HTML document, the browser will interpret it as the beginning of a tag. Right. Characters such as these must be escaped in the source document. Escaping means that instead of typing in the character itself, you represent it by a numeric or by its numeric or named character reference. When the browser sees the character reference, it's substituted. Yup, nice. Okay, so that is what a escape character is. Should we half an hour? Okay. Okay, boys, escape characters. There are two ways of referring to a specific character: by an assigned numeric entity, okay, numeric value, or using a predefined abbreviated name for the character called named entity. All the character references begin with an and end with an semicolon. Alright. Some examples. Copyright. Okay. Some examples will make this clear. I'd like to add a copyright symbol to my page. The typical Mac keyboard Option G, which works in a word processing program, may not be understood properly by a browser or other software. Instead, I must use the named entity or its numeric equivalent when I want the symbol. Okay. All the contents copyright. Okay. HTML defines hundreds of name entities as a part of the markup language, which is to say you can't make up your own entity. Okay. List some of the in XHTML, every instance of an ampersand must be escaped so that it is not interpreted as the beginning. Okay. Ampersand, beginning of a character entity, even when it appears in the value of an attribute, for example here. Okay. So this, okay. Let's highlight this part. Okay. So character less than, greater than, copyright registered, trademark, pound, yen, euro, n dash, m dash, left curly, single quote, double quotes, bullet, horizontal ellipses, non-breaking spaces. One interesting character to know about is the non-breaking space. Its purpose is to ensure that a line doesn't break between two words. So for instance, if I mark up my name like this, I can be sure that my first and last name will always stay together in a nice. This is great to know. Non-breaking space. Okay, putting it all together. Remember, then there's a tip. Remember that indenting. Remember that indenting each hierarchical level in your HTML source consistently makes the document easier. Yes. Okay, putting it all together. So far, you've learned how to mark up elements and you've met all of the HTML element for adding structure and meaning to text content. Now it's just a matter of practice. Exercise 5.3 gives you an opportunity to try out everything covered. Okay, let me just make okay, let's start with two examples. Okay, so I'll make a div with class of say programming language, language, right? Language, oh sorry, and then I can give description or whatever. Then I can have, then it can have its own heading and all. Like I'll go h2 language h2 language makes up most of our written sources as well as written sources. I guess that's all I want to do. Then, and I can provide it an ID as well. ID equals, does ID have to be in quotes? Does ID have a name in quotes? ID, yep, ID is to be in, all the values are to be in quotes. ID, let's say section 1, right? Values, okay, section A, okay. And here I can make a span written source span with an ID. Let's say just heard symbol. Symbols. Let's put an ID with symbol, and let's give it just its sources. What do I want to put? Let's see what interesting thing can I put from the table. Put trademark. Trade. Okay. Trade. And then we the span. See how it looks. Generic elements. Language makes up. Okay, I forgot. Yeah, that's on me. Yeah, like the language makes up most of our written sources. Right. Let me just quickly reply. बता देना guys. Anything else, miss? Okay. Right. इसमें सिर्फ चैप्टर 1 का ही कंटेंट होगा ना टेबल ऑफ कंटेंट में. हाँ जी, बस वही. Now that you've been introduced to all of the text elements, you can put them to work by marking up the blog page. Marking up the blog page for the Black Goose Bistro. The content is shown below. Marked up with the elements from right. Get the starter. Yeah. The resulting markup is in Appendix A, and included. Once you have the text file, follow the instructions listed after the copy. The resulting page, okay, it should look like this. Oh, I can I can do that. Summer, the black home menu. Okay, navigation. I'll put it in the header. Then this is in the header. And I can start a section called appetizers, a section called main sources. You have section low and slow. Okay, so then with this, let's make slash size 5.3. X.html. Let's open it up. Let's copy and paste the content. Okay, this is the text file. Right, navigation. I'll add that into a navigation list. Right, Black Goose. Each one heading. The Black Goose blog. Black Goose Bistro blog. Okay. We'll start with doc type HTML, HTML. We'll start with the head, meta present UTF-8, and then I got title. The title is Black Goose Bistro, then colon, then blog. Goose Bistro, colon, then blog. Title. We are not done, miss. Yep. Title. We'll start with the body. Then each one heading. Let me just put it to the side. Okay, Black Goose blog. The Black Goose blog H1. Then these are navigation to the whole body. So we'll header of the whole body. Then within header, I'll put a nav element, and within the nav element, it will contain. Is it unordered, right? Yeah. Unordered list with this element ahref. I feel like home, blog, menu, contact. Okay, then we have menu, and we have blog, and then we have contact. Okay, let's see this. Right. But this I feel like should be a contact. Yep. Then I'll start a section. Summer. A section with heading summer menu items. Okay. Appetizers and main courses. Summer menu because it has its own theme. Then I'll start with a section with the heading summer menu items. Then I'll put its header posted by BGP time element, time date time June 15, so 2013 dash June is 6 dash 15 time say time 12:30 plus 05:30. Okay, and we go update publication date along with June 15 2013, and we close the time, and we also close the header. Okay, then I will put the content. A chef has been putting together the, I think perfect should be bold to highlight perfect menu for the summer months. Is there a break? Nope. Okay. Now I have to make it look exactly like this, and there is no bold. Okay, so stop by to try these appetizers. Stop by to try these appetizers. Rice. Okay, I'll put a span element with class price. Right. Yep. $sign and that. So stop by to try these appetizers and main courses while the days are still long. The days are so long. Then we move on to H3 appetizers H3. Okay, I think defining term, a dictionary. Now I don't really remember the dictionary, but it should be right here. A description list, a DL, with a description term and a description definition, DD. There's a description list. Show me that description list. Description list. DL, right? With DL, DT is a term and DD is a definition. Okay. Description list. Okay, then let's put description list DL with description term. We have black bean purses with its description definition. The description definition is, let's copy paste, until golden. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Where's the eraser? Okay, I just want to select definition Mexican cheese phyllo. Okay, phyllo. Okay, let's put this in a span of class price, right? And then I can just give it a value. What was the numeric entity for dollar? Dollar, no dollar. Okay, dollar, pound, yen. Okay, nothing for dollar. Okay, because dollar is present as it is, and let's use the span definition. Then I move on to the southwestern Napoleons with the lump crab. Okay, another. Okay, in the description list, okay, I can right. Okay, so I should provide a little. Come on, dude. Why? Yo. Okay. Yeah, there we are. Okay. Then we have another is southwestern Napoleons lump crab. I need the dash dash. Look up to the table and m dash. It is after a space, right? Okay. And dash escape character, and I will write it in then bold new item bold. Let me see. $3 posted by appetizers. Yeah, okay. Then we go on to this simple dt, close the dt tag, dt tortilla. dt lets me this in span class price, then we close the span. Okay, right. Okay, then we move on to another heading, stream. Can item with the ID, and let's keep it simple section. Within the section, deal, right, h3 main courses, h3. Then the first one, okay, I'll start another description list. Our description term is shrimp saute. Description term, description definition. Okay. ओके फिर ये कर लिया, कुछ इसके अंदर एक्स्ट्रा तो नहीं है, बस न्यू आइटम, यहाँ पर इसको स्पैन में डाल देता हूँ, स्पैन प्राइस, लेट्स क्लोज द स्पैन. ओके, फिर उसके बाद एक और आइटम जो है ये description term, ये डैश डैश की जगह डैश यहाँ तक. Nice. New item. फिर इसकी डेफिनेशन में ये आ जाएगा। Tender chicken, slow roasted on the rosary. Flavored with spicy and fragrant jerk sauce and served with fried plantain and fresh mango. I'll start with a span, price $12.95 and that's the span. Here's the definition. Okay. Location, content, copyright. Ours लोकेशन पे वो है, न्यू लाइन आएगी नेक्स्ट मंथ। ओके, तो इधर से कहाँ गया? हाँ ये रहा, H1 नहीं, next month will be serving। H1 नहीं आएगा ये, यहाँ H1 ही आएगा, नहीं H2 आएगा, सॉरी। ये सेक्शन से वो मेन्यू आइटम, ये एक दूसरा सेक्शन बना देता है। H2 I mean बस उधर मेरे को पेस्ट करना है, इसको H2 करना है, इसका एक हेडर बना देते हैं जिसके अंदर ये सारी चीज़ें सॉरी सेक्शन की हेडिंग ये है, राइट। फिर इसका हेडर में ये सब आएगा कि आई थिंक मैंने इसमें कर दिया था, नहीं किया था क्या? कर दिया होगा, हाँ, पोस्टेड बाय ये रहा। फिर उसके बाद आगे पूरा सेम है। फिर हम नेक्स्ट मंथ विल बी सर्विंग, ये हो गया। जेफ, डू आई यूजुअली यूजुअली पे ब्रेक डालूँ क्या? इसने तो नहीं डाला, सो मेरे को भी नहीं डालना। यूजुअली पे ब्रेक तो ये है, इतना नेक्स्ट मंथ टू रिजर्व सीट वगैरह ये सारा यहाँ पर आ गया। और फिर लोकेशन और ये मेरे को ऐड करना है, ये आएगा बॉडी में। Black Goose Bistro and जेनिफर रॉबिन, ओके। लोकेशन, और यहाँ पर we will add a line break to see how it looks. Yeah, nice, okay. Then ये सेम इस पे करना है। ये अलग पैराग्राफ बना देता हूँ। 11 AM to midnight, 11 AM to midnight, Tuesday to Saturday, 11 AM to midnight. Should I? No, I don't think I should provide a time here. इधर ब्रेक डाल देते हैं एंड देन इसको स्मॉल में डालना है, पी स्मॉल, स्मॉल पी। ये बिल्कुल बन गया इसके जैसा, राइट। अब चलो इसका वो देखते हैं अपन, अपेंडिक्स ए आंसर्स कंपेयर करेंगे साइड बाय साइड। 553, या सी लिस्ट, यप, ओके। बट इसने href एज href नहीं डाला। मैंने इसको नेविगेशन एलिमेंट में हेडर में गया, बॉडी में गया, फिर यहाँ से हेडर गया, हेडर के अंदर h1 के हेडर के अंदर डालना है। अच्छा ठीक है, तो ये हेडर के अंदर आना चाहिए और ये सारा फिर एक इधर चले जाएगा, ठीक है। इसको सिंपल एलिमेंट ऐड किया है। अच्छा ठीक है, फिर नाव ख़त्म कर दिया, फिर ओके आर्टिकल, फिर उन्होंने आर्टिकल स्टार्ट किया। आर्टिकल की ये इसको कहीं बाहर भी दिखा सकते हैं, इसलिए इट इज़ अ पार्ट ऑफ अ आर्टिकल, ओके। दैट्स पार्ट ऑफ एन आर्टिकल। फिर इसमें इज टू ये ठीक है, हेडर के अंदर, ओके। तो ये जो चीज़ें हैं ये सारी हेडर के अंदर आती हैं, ठीक है। ये सारी चीज़ें हेडर के अंदर आती हैं, हेडिंग वगैरह, ठीक है। अगर मैं हेडर बना रहा हूँ तो जो मेन हेडिंग होगी वो उसके अंदर आएगी और ये वाला कंटेंट हेडर से बाहर, ओके। फिर हमने यहाँ से सेक्शन बना दिया, ठीक है। तो ये बार आ गया, फिर हमने यहाँ पर एक सेक्शन बना दिया, ऑलराइट। तो हमने यहाँ पर एक सेक्शन बना दिया विद आईडी एपेटाइजर्स, so let's end that section, right, ठीक है। आर्टिकल समर मेन्यू आइटम्स, हमने एक और सेक्शन बना दिया यहाँ पर, सेक्शन id इक्वल्स टू, ओके, मेन कोर्स सेल्फ, राइट। यहाँ पर सेक्शन ख़त्म होता है और बाकी तो बिल्कुल सेम है और आर्टिकल ख़त्म हो गया। ओके, फिर हमने एक नया आर्टिकल स्टार्ट किया यहाँ से और अच्छा ये सारा फुटर में आएगा। ऑफ कोर्स div id इक्वल्स टू अबाउट। ठीक है, ये सारा फुटर में आएगा, ये सारी वैल्यू। ओके, दैट्स हाउ यू लर्न मैन। यहाँ पर आएगा एक जेनेरिक डिवीजन बनाएंगे हम, div with id equals to about। right, div footer और बाकी तो इधर टाइम। ओके, इन्होंने टाइम, वो मैं सोच रहा था ना टाइम डालने का, 11 AM to 00 midnight। राइट, तो उससे पहले लो एंड स्लो का आर्टिकल बनाना है। आर्टिकल लो एंड स्लो का और हेडिंग हमेशा हेडर में आएगी। ओके, फिर हेडर ख़त्म हो गया, फिर हमने ये कर दिया, फिर हमने यहाँ आर्टिकल ख़त्म कर दिया। बट इसको आईडी क्यों नहीं दी हमने? जैसे ये सेक्शन था, ये आर्टिकल था। अच्छा, सेक्शन आईडी एपेटाइजर्स मेन कोर्सेस। ठीक है ठीक है। फिर फुटर में हमने डिव बना दिया आउट और ये फुटनोट फुटर से, सॉरी डिव से बाहर निकाला, अबाउट से बाहर निकाला है। राइट, बिकॉज वो अबाउट में तो उसका कुछ काम ही नहीं है। नाइस, ओके, गॉट इट। स्मॉल, बाकी बिल्कुल सेम। आर्टिकल ख़त्म हो गया, आर्टिकल यहाँ पर सेक्शन। ओके, सेक्शन में मेन कोर्सेज आईडी वगैरह। ओके, और फिर इसमें राइट, ओके, यहाँ पर टाइम, डेट और टाइम देना है मुझे। यहाँ पर 11 AM को टाइम, डेट टाइम 11, फिर 11 AM आ गया। यहाँ पर फिर टाइम बंद कर दो, टू मिडनाइट, टाइम, डेट टाइम, फिर यहाँ पर मिडनाइट का टाइम बंद कर दो, एंड दैट इज ऑल। पेयर टाइम पे। ओके, सो दैट्स हाउ। फ़र्क तो कुछ नहीं पड़ेगा, बस अलग ये है। प्राइस, स्पैन क्लास प्राइस जो मैंने बना दिया था। ओके, एंड या अच्छा, स्ट्रॉन्ग न्यू आइटम। अच्छा, स्ट्रॉन्ग, इधर स्ट्रॉन्ग डाला है बोल्ड की जगह। ओके, स्ट्रॉन्ग, हाईलाइट के बोल्ड की जगह स्ट्रॉन्ग। अच्छा, कीवर्ड्स, न्यू आइटम इज अ कीवर्ड, semantic meaning, be strong।